Banter. This episode might be a little bit late because, I had a birthday.
You had a birthday?
I want to tell you what my grandson told me about my birthday, but I don't know. It might be inappropriate.
Oh, you've already introduced it as now. You gotta.
I'm just saying. He's 13, so you can imagine what.
Oh my goodness.
What he said. But anyway, my whole family, we all went to this restaurant called the Sugar Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about, I think I had invited 15 because I wanted my sister to come down from Savannah, but something happened to her. She didn't come. And then my grandson, my 17-year-old grandson, had to work. So I told him he had to go to Bible study this week with me.
That is so grandma coded.
I know. But the rest of them came, and that was good.
Yeah.
And we had a good time. And at this restaurant, they sing and dance, and they turn the lights off, and they bring a big bowl of ice cream for everybody at the table, and it has sparklers all in it. And so then we had to pick a song. So they gave us a sheet with all of the songs on it. I saw Cardi B. I was like, no, I better not select Cardi B. I saw Megan Thee Stallion. I was like, nope, I better not select Megan Thee Stallion. But I found a song that I said, okay. I didn't tell anybody what I selected. And it was that song, Wipe Me Down. They came and they danced. They danced around me singing Wipe Me Down. All of the waiters and everything. And it was wiping themselves down. It was fun.
Not Club Sugar Factory.
It was fun.
Oh, my goodness. Happy
But you know what my baby son said? He said, you know what? If I had gotten a job here as a teenager, I'd still be working here. He said, I love this.
It sounds fun to me.
It was a lot of fun. He said, I could put a DJ booth right up there.
Goodness.
Oh, man, yeah. Well, it was a good birthday. It really was. And one of my friends bought me a brownie. And, I love brownies, so.
Okay.
And Brandy, my daughter, got me some sugar-free cookies.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you.
But they're good.
Very responsible.
They really are good. Sugar-free cookies from Publix. They were really good.
But to our listeners or our viewers, Beryl here likes brownies.
I love brownies.
Anywho.
But anyway.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
You got my questions and you don't want to guess. I got a recommendations and that I can suggest. Yes, this library questions got a part of the quest. Here's Beryl and Laura with instruction request.
Hi, Ospreys. My name is Lauren Odom, and I'm the instruction librarian.
And I'm Beryl White-Bing. I am the virtual learning librarian at the Thomas G. Carpenter Library.
And we are Instruction Requests, where we talk about common research questions, helpful resources,
and immersive technology in the Thomas G. Carpenter Library.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about nutrition and dietetics.
Nutrition and dietetics.
Yes.
Okay. And we have some really cool resources.
Really do.
As we do for most subjects, honestly.
Yeah.
It's really fun digging into them and seeing like what's actually there.
I really need to dig into them.
Yeah.
Because I need some nutrition guidance.
Okay. Like a sugar-free cookie. Yeah.
Maybe they have some sugar-free brownies. But anyway, go ahead.
So let's get into our research question of the day. So as usual, I'm not going to give any identifying information. This question came through our library chat. And the student says, I'm a nutrition student doing research for a certain topic. I have to find primary sources, but I was wondering how I can find primary sources from a secondary source. For example, the article, Self-Reported Parental Healthy Dietary Behavior Relates to Views on Child Feeding and Health and Diet Quality, has lots of great information that I would love to have in my research paper, but it is secondary. However, they mention that they are using studies conducted by others, which I assume is a primary source. I was wondering how I can find these sources within this article or from other secondary sources. I have been looking for primary sources for quite some time, but it has been quite a challenge.
I think that's something we need to do next semester is talk about terminology when you say primary sources, secondary sources to students.
Yes.
Because to us, when you say a primary source, I'm thinking a letter, an interview, something like that.
Right.
But what they're talking about is primary research.
Primary research.
Yeah, so that's
right.
That terminology is a bit confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
When students come to us.
Yeah, it definitely depends on like which field or which industry you're talking about. Because when you're talking about history, then like you said, you're looking at like a letter, a journal, a photo.
Right.
But when you're looking at something that's on the medical side or the science side, it's just that these are the people who conducted the experiment themselves.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
a clinical trial, a randomized controlled trial, something like that, not a review article. So to address this, not for the content of the question, like the topic, but I would recommend 3 ways of going about trying to use a secondary source to find the primary sources within them. One is you can search the title of that article in OneSearch, and OneSearch has this really cool feature where there are these little arrows on a record called citation paths. I love highlighting those to students. And the citation paths allow you to see other bodies of research that either reference that article in their paper.
You're talking about the little red arrows?
The little red arrows that allow you to, it's called citation mining.
Right.
Or you can look at the sources that they use to develop that research. So that would be a way to kind of work backwards and see which of the bodies of research that they referenced were primary. So, and OneSearch makes it easy. So I would start there. Do the search and see the little red arrows and follow the arrows to see what's primary.
Yeah, the ones going up are the sources that...
They're more recent.
Yeah, or the ones that have used that...
They use that article.
That article in doing to build their research, and the one going down... are the articles cited by that actual paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another way to do it is with any body of research, they do have to have some sort of reference page or works cited page or something like that to, provide credit to whose work that they used. So that would be a more manual way of doing it, but you can look in their reference section and look at those and search those studies to see if any of those are primary sources. And whenever you're in OneSearch will let you know if something is a review article. There's like a little label that says review article. That'll let you know that that's not a primary source. So that's one quick way to do it. There's not like a primary source filter in OneSearch. So you do kind of have to know if something's a clinical trial or a controlled trial or something like that to determine if it's a primary source. The other thing is there is a database called Web of Science. And sometimes when you open a record in OneSearch and you scroll all the way to the bottom, so all the way to the bottom where those red arrows are located, those citation paths, underneath that, it'll say Web of Science. I think that's a Clarivate product. Yeah. If you go into Web of Science, like, so say in that secondary body of research, they mention a study by Davis and Jones, and you want to see if they have primary research that they have conducted, you can actually follow specific researchers and like look at their other bodies of work in Web of Science. Web of Science is cool because it's kind of like it's literally like a web, like this connection tool where you can...
It's kind of like OneSearch.
Yeah, it's kind of like OneSearch. So you can look at direct articles or direct bodies of research. And then all of the people who were a part of developing that research, their names will be linked there. And then you can see what other projects they've produced and who else is affiliated with them and associated with them. So you can kind of go down a rabbit hole, but that would be a way of taking the information that's in there and then following it to see if you can find primary research from the researchers that are involved, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, something I tell students too, when they're looking for primary research, is that if you find a systematic review, say, or about your topic, then that actual article or that actual research will list all of the articles that it found. And you can go through those references, similar to data mining.
Right.
But you can look in, so the review articles may not be one that you could
You can't use that one, but you can work
but
backwards.
you can work backwards
Right.
and go into the citations that it lists, all
Yeah.
of the articles that it reviewed, and maybe find an article on the same topic.
Within that. Exactly. So OneSearch and Web of Science essentially are tools that kind of simplify that process,
Yeah.
but you can always do it manually by just looking at the references for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully that helps someone. That might have been a long way around, but if you have any questions, schedule a research consultation. We got you.
Or drop
right.
into low.
Or drop into low. So speaking of what's happening in
What's happening in instruction? Open office hours is still going on. I'd like to remind students of that because we are getting some complaints about not being available. So I want you to remember that we are available every day from 11 to 1 for you to just drop in.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. We are available and during finals week, it'll be Monday through Friday.
Yes.
We will be open for you to drop in. And it's on the library calendar. You look for librarian open office hours, and the link to the Zoom room will be in that post on the calendar. So I've been teaching students to look at the calendar because we have a lot going on that they can take part in. And then, of course, we'll also have, we're just doing it that one time. Were we just doing that one time?
Pulley?
Pulley?
No, we'll be doing Pulley.
We're going to be
2
doing
weeks
Pulley
before,
again. 2 weeks before
finals.
Before finals. So that would be the week before Thanksgiving.
And we will be in the library.
Right. We'll be in the library. We tried to do a study room, but people were booking the study rooms. So we're just sitting in the library. So just look for us. Look for that pink sign the week before Thanksgiving. And that would be during the same time, 11 to 1.
Yes.
For that entire week. So that's what's going on in instruction.
That's what's going on.
Instruction in the VLC is ramping up, but I can talk about that later.
Okay. All right. And things have kind of slowed down a little bit on the instruction side, but we do still have some classes coming through. I have a English class this week. So just keep in mind, faculty, that we are available to come to your class if you like. If you don't have time to bring them to the library, we can always come to you. And it doesn't have to be a long session. It could be just a quick overview of specific resources on a topic if you like. But we're here to help. So, all right. So let's talk about nutrition and dietetics resources in the library.
Yes.
All right, so the first thing that I have is the Nutrition and Dietetics Library Guide. You can navigate to this from the main library website. You can either click the Resources drop-down tab and choose Library Guides, or scroll down under Quick Links and choose Lib Guides or Lib Guides. And on that page, you can choose the nutrition option. And so there are like 3 options under the nutrition tab. So this is the main Nutrition and Dietetics Library Guide, and students can navigate through this to look at some of the databases that might be useful for nutrition research, how to navigate PICO, search strategies, systematic reviews, etc. So this will be a great start and a landing page for, getting started with that kind of research.
We're going to talk about those higher level research skills next semester.
Oh yeah, we're getting into
on the
higher level
podcast.
research skills
Yeah.
for sure. This is another library guide. So this one is types and levels of evidence for nutrition research. And excuse me. This is something that I think Sarah actually made all of the nutrition guides, so she did a beautiful job.
Yeah.
But this one kind of goes into a different level. So this is higher level for doing research in nutrition and dietetics. So I really wanted to point that out for like faculty and graduate students for sure to kind of navigate through this library guide.
Sarah Malclis is the
STEM online learning
STEM
librarian.
online learning librarian and also the liaison for nutrition
Yes, for
and
nutrition.
dietetics.
And then lastly is I wanted to point out the AMA. This is also one of Sarah's guides, so shout out to Sarah. She created this guide at the request of a nutrition professors because they primarily use AMA format when they're doing their research. So I just wanted to point out that students can go here, and we do have that AMA manual of style. So this is, you can kind of go through that, just a web version of the physical manual for all the different rules for how to cite certain things correctly in AMA. And it also has AMA at a glance. So, you know, a website, a book, or when you need to cite and that kind of thing. So go to that guide so that once you gather the information you have from the resources we're about to cover, you know how to properly format your paper. All right, so the databases. As always, we navigate to the databases either by clicking the database list link next to the OneSearch search bar on the library main page. And under the subjects drop-down menu, I've chosen nutrition. And we have 28 databases that are slated for nutrition research. Today, I'm going to cover 5 of them. Okay. So CINAHL Ultimate, which we've done CINAHL, I think at least once before, right?
Yeah.
So CINAHL Ultimate is our go-to for any kind of like health or medical research. So I wanted to point out that you can do a keyword search here by using the fields with those Boolean operators, or you can search using CINAHL headings. So doing a search with headings versus doing a keyword search is a little bit different. And again, this is something we will definitely cover next semester with the higher level search strategies. But using CINAHL headings allows you to search for like an umbrella term and to choose subheadings, and it will create a subject heading and search resources based on the content of the research instead of trying to catch only the words that are in the title. When we do keyword searches, we're hoping to catch those results where the title matches the terms that we're searching. But sometimes you might have an article that is not necessarily named, it's not titled in the way that you're searching in the keywords, and you can catch those relevant resources by searching the subject. And essentially, you're searching by the content of that article, if that makes sense. Okay, so CINAHL also allows you, if you scroll down a little bit, it allows you to filter for peer-reviewed, evidence-based practice, and randomized control trials. So kind of going back to that conversation about primary sources, this is a way that you can filter for those right away, whether you're doing a subject heading search or a keyword search, okay? This is right underneath the search bars. The next one I have is PubMed. So again, this is one that we've kind of touched on before, but these are the top two that we primarily point out for nutrition and nursing. So you can either do a search in the search bar, but I want to point out
And public health.
And public health. We haven't forgotten you, public health. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want to point out the MESH database and journals area, but specifically the MESH database. So MESH stands for medical subject headings, okay? So this is what it would look like if you were to click that link. And so here you would do the same thing that you would do in CINAHL. You would search a term, pain, or asthma or something like that, and you would be able to choose subheadings that fall underneath that particular term to create a subject heading, and you develop a search that way to search those articles that match the content, and not solely the keywords within the title.
Look at that notice. Because of a lapse in government funding, the information on this website may not be up to date.
Yeah, this is
I hate that's there.
Yeah, this is a National Library of Medicine database.
Oh my goodness.
So it definitely is possibly affected by things going on, in the government sector. So, so one of the things about PubMed, though, is I do believe there is a primary source filter once you generate your results. I believe there is a one for primary sources in this particular database. So the next one I have is the Florida Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics Manual of Medical Nutrition Therapy. So similar to the AMA guide, this is just the digital format of this manual. So you can just read within the chapter, essentially an ebook, right? But as a database. The next one is the Nutrition Care Manual. So this one is great because it allows you to search like interventions and more like clinical things within nutrition and dietetics, not diabetics. And then lastly, I have Ovid Journals, which is another platform that allows you to search for medical research. So, your PubMed, your CINAHL, and your Ovid would be similar types of databases there. So yeah, that's all I have.
Okay.
There you go.
You want to know what's going on in the VLC?
I would like to know what's going on in the VLC.
Okay, what's going on in the VLC? We have, oh my goodness, we have 28 MetaQuest 3s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have a management program where supposedly it's supposed to be easy. You just go to the computer and press a button and everything is beautiful. Well, we also have some UNF creative VR experiences. Eartha M.M. White being one of them, Wetlands Walk being another, and a couple of other ones that are student created, actually. Oh my goodness.
It's conflict with the
It's complicated working with, because in the past, we would put the headsets into developer mode and side load it from SideQuest. Well, with the management system, that makes it a little bit difficult. But Eureka today. Shout out to Tim Hunter, okay? Shout out to Tim Hunter. I'm going to tell him. I'm giving you a shout out on the podcast. Shout out to Tim Hunter. I rack my brain. I have another way to do it in the back of my brain. But Tim did it the right way. And he was able to install the Eartha M.M. White VR experience on all 28 of the headsets. Now let's just hope it stays.
Okay.
Because the website he set up to do it, he's going to delete it. Or it deletes itself at the end of November. So I may still have to use that back of my mind kind of idea. But, it's all good.
Well, that's good. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of troubleshooting.
So I'm happy because I have Eartha M.M. White VR experience has been downloaded on all the MetaQuest 3s. And I still have the MetaQuest 2s from DHI. Shout out to DHI, the Digital Humanities Institute. And I have like 61 students scheduled to come.
Wow.
So I was really stressing about that. So I'm very happy I got that done.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So that's done. Today we put the hard, we did have the elastic straps on the MetaQuest 3s, but today we put the hard straps on, which makes it a little bit more sturdy.
Okay.
So that's good. So that's what's going on in the VLC. Classes have ramped up. I mean, I've got a Spanish class and clubs. I have clubs. The Spanish
Oh,
club.
nice.
Yeah, the Spanish club is coming to use a program that we're have a trial
Oh, they're
for.
coming. Yay.
Not the Spanish club, the French club.
Okay.
The French club is coming to try out dynamic languages. And I do want to ask if any of you are looking at any VR experiences that have a cost to them. I have been given a small budget. So if you have a VR experience that you've read about in some literature in your discipline, and you want me to investigate it or maybe get a trial, or if it's just an app that I can purchase, send me an email, libraryvr@unf.edu, and say, Beryl, can you see if you can find something? And I'll look. And, you know, I like spending money. And I want to spend it before they take it back. Okay, so what's happening? The VR experiences that I have that are related to nutrition and dietetics. This one is called augmented food exposure.
Oh.
It is a super, super cool, and it's on Meta. It allows mental health professionals to measure specific negative emotional responses called emotional eating,
Wow.
which leads to binging episodes in certain eating disorders like bulimia and binge eating. So that's this one. It's called augmented food exposure, and it's free. I haven't used it, but it's available in the Meta store. And this one is Nutrition Counselor VR. Using the virtual reality environment, learners build strategies for talking to a patient and preparing them to follow a guided program of diet and behavior. This helps to prepare dietitians, interns, and others doing nutrition counseling for the reality of interacting with patients who are in physical and emotional distress. So that is also available in Meta. And then this one I really like. It's called the Kellogg Gut Health Bacteria Reef. It's a ride through your digestive system. And it just takes you on a ride through your mouth all the way through your digestive system and shows what each organ does and how it affects your
So
health.
like the Magic School Bus
It's kind of like the Magic School Bus,
in VR.
and it's made by Kellogg.
Osmosis domes a little bit.
Yeah. So that is what I have in the VLC. And our final, we don't have a library VR champion, but we did have the Alan Lassinger Center. I say it wrong all the time. The Alan Lassinger Center for Florida History opened this month. Official opening was this month.
I have no concept of time.
Okay.
Was that this month?
I think it was. I think it was this month. It was this month.
Early in the month.
Yeah, it was early in the month. And so I want the whole campus to be aware of what we have in the library. And we have an interview. I went down and I did a little interview with the Alan Lassinger Center for Florida History librarian, Hillary Streifer. And so, Andy, if you could cue the video. I'm here today in the Alan Lassinger Center for Florida History with our Alan Lassinger Center for Florida History librarian, Hillary Streifer. Hillary, can you tell us a little bit about the center?
Yes. So the Alan Lassinger Center for Florida History is a new center for knowledge about the state of Florida's history. It's a hub for academic activity and a global resource for scholars. We collect primary and secondary sources about related to the state of Florida's transportation economic histories. Our foundational collection, which comes from Alan Lastinger himself, is a collection of maps, books, manuscripts, and ephemera about the state of Florida with a strong foundation in economic, banking, and tourism histories.
Okay, and we're sitting here in a very nice, relaxing area that I probably will use a lot when I'm trying to hide from from other people. Tell me a little bit about how students can use your reading room.
Okay, so this comfortable area is the Walter Graham seating area. The whole center we are open Tuesdays through Friday, and we are open to quiet study as well as researchers who want to use our material. We have reference material that is here in the center. We also have collections that are available by appointment. All of our material can be found in the library's catalog using OneSearch. That includes our books, maps, and manuscript collections, all available there.
Is there one thing they can put in the catalog to maybe find everything in here? Like, can they put in Lastinger?
Unfortunately, no. The catalog is not set up to search by location like that. But if you just run your general search on whatever topic you're interested in the result for that item, it'll tell you where in the library that item is located, whether it's in the general collection, in the university archives and special collections, or in the Alan Lastinger Center for Florida History's collection.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. And one last question. Can I eat my lunch in here?
Unfortunately, no. That's our only rule here, is that there's no food or drink allowed in the center, and that's to keep the bugs out, because we want to keep the material in as good of condition as we can for as long as we can, and that means eliminating the bugs.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know. I'm sorry.
But it's a very nice center. I encourage students to come use the Alan Lastinger Center for Florida History. We have maps, we have books, we have all types of primary materials.
Yep, primary and secondary sources. Yep.
Primary and secondary sources. And I thank you, Hillary, for this interview.
Thank you.
Oh.
And that's Hillary.
Oh, thank you, Hillary.
I really am going to go in there when I want to hide out from anybody, and I don't want anybody to know where I am.
I think a lot of people are going to know where you are now.
But you can't eat in there. That's the only thing. You can't take food in. But it would be a nice place to go and get some work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So
yeah. Especially the little alcove.
That little alcove that used to be the entrance to the library years ago when I was here. That's why my student number is so low.
Oh.
You know how I went to the gym the other day, and the lady said, "What is your in number?" And I said 50240. She said,
she just said like the last few numbers, and everybody was like,
I was like,
and she was like 000.
I'm old, okay? I'm old.
She was like 000, and I was like, we all have N01 numbers.
Back in my day when I first came to UNF, that was the entrance.
So yeah, that little alcove, they've closed it off, and now it's just kind of like these large window, this 3-window wall section with a nice sofa.
The little sofa, the blue is my favorite color, and they got
really
the little blue, the blue area over there.
So make an appointment and check out the center and do some work and hang out in the space. So
for sure.
All right, so next week we are talking about
athletics
training and kinesiology.
Athletic training and kinesiology.
Yes. So thank you again for joining us for another episode of the Instruction Request Podcast. Remember, if you need assistance, you can schedule a research consultation, or you can always schedule an instruction request.